I don't think this is going to work. Because I'm trying to show you guys this lab report. Let's see. Sorry about the beginning of this video, guys. Guess I'll do my best. Let's see here. Actually, this is definitely not going to work because the angle is all wrong, and I don't know why it won't allow me. You know, let's try this. Nope, that's not going to work. How about, no. Okay, well, this is about the best that we can do. Let's see what happens. Well, here I should rewind this though, because otherwise it won't make any sense. Now, this is official footage. This is terrible. Okay, let's see here. Let's move this way. Apologize, guys. It's going to be worth the wait, but this is unfortunately not the way that I wanted to show you guys this footage, because I have been very impressed by this, but I don't know why YouTube won't let me turn my camera so that I can get a nice clear picture for you guys. But okay, let's just show you what's going on here. So this is official laboratory footage. Now, before I begin, I will say, I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm not making any medical claims, and I'm not making any claims for or against any product or products. Everything stated in this video are the opinions of the speaker and should not be construed as claims for or against any product or products. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Let me explain to you, again, this is going to be a very, not only unusual video, but very enlightening video, because in my opinion, everything that is being shown to you in the United States as far as how to test proper amounts of hydrogen in water, how to test proper amounts of hydrogen gas levels, in my opinion, they're all wrong. And I say they're wrong because they're not even using the proper testing. Like for gas concentrations, people are literally sticking a tube in water and just looking at bubbles. This is not how you measure concentrations of hydrogen gas, because you don't know the concentration of different gases in those bubbles. And you can make bubbles simply by pressurization into a tube. It's like blowing into a straw. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely bonkers. So there's a lot of misinformation, again, in my opinion, in the world of hydrogen gas. And it can be the same things with oxygen gas and ozone and all this stuff. You need proper testing. This is literally proper testing. So let me show you what's going on here. This machine is literally the latest in hydrogen technology. This full gray one here is like nothing can even remotely come close to what the technology they've developed here. And I'm about to show you why in a second. In fact, I'll pause it right now, because this equipment right here and this piece of equipment right here, this is all proper equipment to measure hydrogen gas saturation in water. I hope that this is understood, because people use, like, for example, little blue drops. That is not what you use for proper hydrogen concentrations in water. It's not the correct way. You're literally witnessing the correct way to do it. In Japan, this is actually being done in Japan. And the Japanese know hydrogen better than anybody. Okay, they are the mecca of hydrogen. In fact, I have so much new technology that I've discovered while being here in Japan that is so fascinating when it comes to hydrogen. And I really can't wait to share it with you guys, but it's unbelievable. So, hate to say it, but all the stuff that comes out of like China and Korea, it's just not even close. They don't even test it properly. So let's just keep going with that. Now the company, there's been like people with questions, don't understand that the company makes more than one model of these hydrofixes. The outer shells are obviously look very similar, but it's the internals that are different. It's kind of like a car, you know, these models that have better engines or more powerful engines, but the car looks the same. So this, let's see, this is the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium from a website called holyhydrogen.com. This is like the best there is. And what this thing is doing is literally unbelievable. I'm going to make a separate video about it, but it appears that they've literally developed what I would call a new hydrogen technology. And apparently the results that they're attaining for people's health and just the reactions that it's having with people's health is unreal. And I'll show you that here in a second. This middle one, I believe, is the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium, the one before this model. That's my understanding, and we're about to see the lab tests and showing the differences. And then this one on the very right is what they would call just the Japanese model. So this one just got done finished. I didn't run the whole video. If I were to rewind the whole thing, they literally ran it live because people are always saying the craziest things that they're like, oh, they're lying, they're playing camera tricks. They're like, we will run it from start to finish. It's totally insane. Now they're about to test hydrogen. Now we're talking about molecular hydrogen. We're not talking about Brown's gas made incorrectly. There's no lye, there's no plated metals. This is the best of the best in the world right now. And these guys are the best. This is the #1 hydrogen company in the world, and they're Japanese. Now, full saturation of hydrogen in water should technically be 1.6. And if you notice this little thing that's moving around in here, they're trying to get it to, the reason it has to move is to show you the full saturation. Now, full saturation should technically be about 1.6, but this is going beyond 1.6. In fact, I've even seen, I'm going to have to release other footage that I've seen. Now, see, it's hitting 1.7. This doesn't make any sense. It hit 1.71. A lot of these, well, you're about to see the differences in all these machines because they're not all the same. There's people online who try to claim that they're all the same. And you have to understand that these people making these claims are people who are either trying to sell machines or have businesses. They're trying to make these machines look bad, I guess. But I don't care about all that. I just need the facts. Now, the reason that it was a big deal that it reached over 1.7 is because, guys, you're not supposed to be able to reach over 1.59, 1.6. You're not supposed to be able to do that. So why is it doing it? Even the lab testers themselves thought, wait a second, there's something wrong with the equipment. This equipment needs to be calibrated all the time. It's actually very finicky. Measuring hydrogen is very finicky. And again, specifically molecular hydrogen. There's different types of hydrogen. This is what we're talking about because this is what's been shown in medical research to be the best. And there's so much confusion out there. This is why I do my channel because I hate to say it, but in my personal opinion, all these companies, they just want to try to convince you that whatever they have is better or whatever. And it's not about what's best. I just want facts. So, and there really is medical data. Okay, so with that being said, why would this machine test different? And why would it go over full saturation? I don't know if you guys understand that full saturation should be, it's based on our atmospheric pressure, it's based on water. It shouldn't be, it's like boiling water. If it reaches a certain temperature, it boils and that's the end of it. It should not be able to break the laws of science. However, okay, here we go. I got a message there. What doesn't make sense is that why would this be breaking the laws of science? It doesn't make sense. They didn't think it made sense. And by the way, see, they're still waiting for these machines to be done running. They started with this one. What's actually happening, and believe me, my understanding after a lot of emails and phone calls and questions, they thought there was something wrong with their equipment. It wasn't that there was something wrong with their equipment. And look, this one's done now, so they're about to test this. So you're about to see the difference. What they realized is that they had literally developed a new technology unknowingly. Why? Because they are so, now this was a premium edition. So this used to be the best. They are always, and this is why I love this company and this machine, because they're the best. And the Japanese, if you know anything about the way the Japanese do things, they're so finicky about the details. And when I say finicky, they want to it's unbelievable, okay? And so when it comes to hydrogen, especially when you're making hydrogen like this, you want to first focus on the metal technology, which, by the way, I've obviously deeply researched the subject. Nobody has the metal that this one company does. Why? Well, because they've invested so much money and they're trying to do the best they can, and nothing can touch it. No stainless steel, no plated metals, nothing comes close. Now this one, see, 1.5, 1.4, 1.6. Why isn't it reaching the over 1.7 that we saw earlier? It's getting a little close. 1.6, 1.67, 1.8 for a second. It's not giving you the same readings. And this is the premium edition. This is developing a new type of hydrogen, guys. So much so strange that even they didn't know that they accomplished this. Because all they did, it's like cars, by the way. A lot of people who don't understand cars and engineering. They work on the metal. By the way, a lot of people don't know that the type of metal you use on engines and literally the microscopic differences in metal really makes a difference. Think of like samurai swords. It really makes a difference. They worked on the metal. Then they worked on the membrane. The membrane they use in this new device is unlike anything in the world. This is the only company, and now it's mind-boggling to me because you'd think that some 10 different hydrogen companies, but hydrogen is so new and nobody does it like these guys because nobody's taking the time and the money and the effort. I mean, there's a reason that they're number one, okay, guys? I hope people understand this. People always like, why do you like these guys so much? Because they're the best. The membrane that they're using is untouchable. Nobody in the world has it. The metal they're using, untouchable. Then they have this cartridge underneath here on these. All of them have this special type of cartridge. It's all food grade. Nobody in the world has that either. Then the design itself and then the computers that they're using, they all look the same, but they're actually all different. Again, people don't understand this and people have made videos trying to say that they're the same and they're not. So we're still waiting on this one. This one's a Japanese model. See how they've actually churned these every time they're done being tested. They're giving different readings. What exactly is this gray machine doing that these guys aren't doing? Now, these are their cheaper models. This is actually the cheapest one. This is their second highest end or more expensive one. And this is like, you know, top of the top, best of the best is their full gray model. What it's doing, it's producing something, I guess, that I would call sticky hydrogen. The nanobubbles that it's also producing, in my opinion, are second to none. There is nobody in the world that is making them like this. And see, this one just beeped. They're running for a specific amount of time, and they're literally lab testing right in front of you. The nanobubbles that the gray one is producing due to the new membrane technology, which is more expensive, but the machine, my understanding is the membrane will last longer. And see, this one doesn't say premium because it's the non-premium, which is what they primarily sell in Japan. This is obviously their lowest end one. The sticky hydrogen, theoretically, will obviously give most likely better results. And from already speaking to people and even things that I've seen myself, it is doing something that nobody expected hydrogen to be able to do. This thing will give you, in my personal opinion, again, better results. Now, let's just see again the lab test here so you guys can see the differences here, because what they're showing you is that the three models that they make are different. Mostly because there's literally, in my opinion, again, scam artists online trying to tell people that they're all the same. And they don't understand. I mean, this is lab footage from basically the company itself. And they're like, of course we know that our models are different. We're the ones who build them. And so look at this one. And they're trying to get this thing to twirl around correctly. See, it's kind of banging against the glass, actually. And they're trying to get it right. But you can see the numbers already are not the same. So this one, the full gray one, was 1.7 something. I believe I've even seen footage where it was 1.8 something. This middle one was 1.6 something, I believe. And then their lowest end model is 1.4 something. Maybe I won't even hit 1.5. And I think they're going to try to adjust it there, yeah. And that's part of the technology because, there we go. You got it right that time, I think. Nah, it still sounds like it's banging around a little bit. So this really shows you not only that there are differences between all three. Could they make a more high-powered machine? I've asked. And they said they could. But this is the thing that I find very interesting because these are engineers. It's important to understand engineering when it comes to hydrogen production. My understanding from everything that I've heard and learned is that the higher output a machine puts out, the likelihood of the hydrogen reaching impurities is greater. So there has to be a perfect balance. Everything in life is about balance. And what they were able to achieve apparently with this gray one, the full gray one, is the best hydrogen, from my understanding, literally, in the world. Super pure. You don't need higher levels per se. I wish I could show you the footage actually, where they literally have medical footage, where they show the buildup. And look, see where the numbers are, 1.4. basically, the hydrogen will build up in the body. So what's more important, yes, proper levels are important, and this one's putting out basically just identical to what they use medically in Japan, in hospitals, what's medically approved. So this is doing the best there is. But it does build up in the body. And maybe if you guys request, I'll have to get footage of that, where it literally has hydrogen build up within the organs. So they're basically saying, like, if you want more hydrogen, just inhale a little longer, just drink a little more water, whatever. But the sticky hydrogen, guys, we're talking about something that the world literally has never really known. I never would have thought in a million years. Here they're showing you that they're all clearly different machines. I know they all look very similar, but they're not. And this lab test just showed you that they're not. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. But what I can tell you is, well, no, they're not the same. I've been trying this one out a while back, and there is a difference. I've talked to already people at the company who've been using it. They've developed something that they're the only ones in the world that have. And nobody at this time even knows or understands what they're doing. But it's like apparently sticky hydrogen. It's sticking. The reason that it's reaching over full saturation, which technically shouldn't make sense. You can't go over full saturation unless it's under pressure. And apparently the sticky hydrogen would stick to components when measuring the hydrogen, which is why it was giving higher readings. It's doing something that nobody has technically ever understood. And the results, which they're already seeing, I already tried this machine out for months. There is a difference. It's basically doing things that ordinary hydrogen just couldn't do. And the results seem to be even more powerful than just your conventional hydrogen. Now, somebody's asking, please add the medical videos. That would be great to view. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to find those. I saw those. They're a few years old. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. A lot of people have questions about this. Unfortunately, again, look, this is, just so you guys understand, this is the proper equipment to measure hydrogen saturation in water. If people are using blue drops, I hate to say this, but if you see that, they're showing you their ignorance on the subject, in my opinion, because you will not measure exact precise levels with blue drops. Blue drops will show you that maybe there's some molecular hydrogen present, but that's all it's going to do. It's not going to give you a proper reading. A proper reading's important, not ppm. I should have stated this at the beginning of the video. We're not talking about ppm because ppm is already incorrect, because ppm is in relationship to how much water. So if you're using a small amount of water and give a certain ppm, it's very mischievous in my opinion, because you're going to need a certain amount of water and a certain amount of milligrams of hydrogen, again, in my opinion, to get the proper medical results or the proper health benefits that you're ultimately looking for. I mean, I've tried to make so many videos to help you guys understand this, but people just don't seem to understand. And with all the other videos out there giving incorrect information, it makes it very frustrating for the average person. And I totally get it. I get emails about this all the time. So if you have any questions before I, stop the video footage here, let me know. But I hope that this helped you understand. If you guys want to know what the best is, well, this is clearly the best. I mean, if you're looking to get the absolute best for your health or anything you're trying to get results for, again, in my opinion, this is it right here. Second best would be this one. This is good. And ironically, this new technology, even though it's better, it appears to even last longer. So although this technology can be more expensive, in the long term, in my opinion, again, this is actually going to be cheaper and you're going to get something that's better. And you want the best. When it comes to hydrogen, you really want what I would call medical grade. People don't understand the difference between medical grade and non-medical grade. It has to do with purity also, but the nanobubbles are unbelievably important, and the structure of the metal, not just the metal quality, but the structure of it, the way that they structure it is extremely important. And so many other things that they're doing. There's nobody who can touch this technology at this time. In the future, maybe, 10 years. These guys are like light years ahead of everybody. And then this is the Japanese model. This is the lowest end model. And, well, you guys clearly saw the results here. So without, anything else being said, thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing, sharing, all that stuff. I hope that you guys found this helpful. And that's it. So since there's no questions, I'll just let you guys go. Thanks for watching. and I'll see you guys next time on the next one.